Hi friends, one of the important area in AP history we have to see is advent of Europeans. How these Europeans came to Andhra, that we have to see. So these Europeans, Europeans came to India for the purpose of trade and commerce. Okay, especially entrepreneurship that was there in the mind of these Europeans, like that they came to India. Suppose if you see India, so here the Portuguese were the first people, second one the British, so the second one the Dutch, third one the British, fourth one Danish, last one the French, like that they came to India. If you see India, Portuguese they were the first people, second one the Dutch, third one the British, fourth one Danish, so like that, last one the French. But we are seeing who were the people who came to Andhra, who were the people who came to Andhra, that we have to see. Okay, they were the people who came to Andhra, that only, so we have to see here. Okay, so here, so there is, so in this especially what happened, who were the first people to come to Andhra? The first people who came to Andhra, so they were the Dutch. Who were the first people to come to Andhra means they were the Dutch. So what is the purpose in the sense trade and commerce that became the main purpose of these Europeans. So mainly trade and commerce. Okay. So like that during that time Andhra that also advanced well, Andhra that advanced during that time. So at this moment what happened? So they selected mainly highly populated regions where they can sell their goods. Okay, because if population is there, then only people can purchase according to their needs and necessities. If population is not there, then it is not possible. Like that, so here that is the thing which so happened like that it is said. Okay, so then, so in this advent of Europeans, so there is Andhra, advent of Europeans to Andhra. So this is advent of Europeans. Okay, Europeans to Andhra. So how these people came to Andhra, that only we have to see. Europeans to Andhra. So this, they were the people who came. First people to come to Andhra, so the Dutch. The first one, the Dutch, they were the people who came to Andhra. The Dutch we can say. Second people to come to Andhra, the British. The British, they were the people who came to Andhra, that you have to remember. Second people to come to Andhra, the British. So then, third people to come to Andhra, the French. The French, they were the people who came to Andhra. The French were the people who came to Andhra. The last one, the Portuguese, they were the people who came to Andhra. The Portuguese. Okay. So who came to Andhra, like that it is said. Have you got idea? So here, they were the people who came to Andhra, so that you have to remember. So here the Dutch came in the year, in which year they came to Andhra? In the year 1605 only they came to Andhra, so like that it was said. Machilipatnam. So Machilipatnam only they came to Machilipatnam in the year 1605. From Machilipatnam they moved to Pulicat, Val. So like that here the Dutch, they were the people who came to Andhra in the year 1605, that is one. So then in the year 1611, they people came to Andhra, 1611 only. The French, what happened in the sense, they came in the year 1669 to Andhra, okay, especially Andhra, that is important. In the year 1669, so they came. The Portuguese in the year 1670. So like that, they were the people who came to Andhra. Have you got idea? So here, especially suppose if it is India, the Portuguese, they were the first people. The Portuguese, they were the first people who came to Andhra, like that we can say. So have you got idea? So like that, they were the first people too. So this especially come to Andhra. So coming to this advent of Europeans to Andhra, especially Andhra, I told you this is one of the important regions. So especially seashore that existed because, so during that time navigation through, so there is navigation, sailing only they were coming, and so at the same time they were bringing their goods and selling their goods, getting profits. So that is one of the things. Especially southern region, what happened in the sense, South Indian region, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, all these are so affluent or rich we can say. Especially Kerala region, so the spices were abundantly produced there. So that's why mainly what happened, they focused towards coming to these South India, in South India especially. So here in these Europeans especially came how in the sense, so they people came, So the Portuguese were the first people to come to India, but they were the last people to come to Andhra. So they were the last people to come to Andhra, like that it is said. Have you got idea? So who were the rulers who gave permission to these people during that time? That also I have to know. Okay, who were the people who gave permission to these people? So especially first one, the Dutch, you know well. So to come to Andhra, the Dutch. Originally the Dutch moved to where, in the sense the Dutch, they went to Indonesia. From Indonesia only, so again they came back to, so they came to Machilipatnam, that you know well. Originally what happened, they moved to Indonesia first. After that only they started and they came to Machilipatnam, like that it is said. Then when the Dutch came to this Andhra, Dutch came to, so this Andhra in the year, and the Dutch came to Andhra, so okay, it is in the year 1605. During that time, Golconda Sultans, they existed. Qutub Shahi rulers, they existed, you know well. Qutub Shahis existed. Who existed, in the sense Qutub Shahis only existed during this time. So who was the Qutub Shahi ruler? So who was the Qutub Shahi ruler who gave permission to this Dutch, in the sense especially Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah? So who was the ruler during that time who gave permission to these people? Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah. This Muhammad, who was the ruler? Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah. He gave Quli Qutub Shah. Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah. He gave permission to the Dutch for their trade and commerce in Machilipatnam, because this Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah, you know well, the period of Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah, he came in the year 1580 and continued till 1612. That's the period of this Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah. 1580 he came, continued till 1612. That's the period of this one. So like that, the Dutch, they were the people who came, you know well. The Dutch belongs to which one, in the sense Netherlands. Okay, Amsterdam, that became the capital, you know well. So like that, who gave permission? This is Qutub Shahis. So Golconda Sultans, simply you can say that they are Golconda Sultans. Okay, this Golconda Sultans. Golconda Sultan who existed was, so this Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah, he only gave permission to these people, like that it was said. Coming to the British, what happened, in the sense, the British got permission, like that we can say. So, okay, here the British got permission. So the British, they also got permission from this Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah, like that. So here what happened, so these people, they came, like that it is said. These people, they came to Andhra for the purpose of this trade and commerce. So you have to remember, so in the examination, how the question is asked, in the sense, put them in an order, like that. Sometimes the question may be asked. Put them in an order, like that. Who were the first people to come to Andhra, like that? India, you know well. Coming to India, Portuguese, they were the first people. Second one, the Dutch. Third one, like that, you know well. But coming to Andhra, the first people who came were the Dutch. They were the first people. Second people to come to Andhra. Okay, second people to come to Andhra. So there is especially the British. Third one, the French. Last one, the Portuguese, like that. So you know well. In this especially, we have to see the first one. Okay, in this we have to see who, in the sense, first one, the Dutch only we have to see. So first people to come to Andhra, the Dutch. You see, the Dutch, they were the people who came to Andhra for the first time. First Europeans to come to Andhra, and their trading centers. So that only we have to remember. Have you got idea? The Dutch. The Dutch belongs to which region? The Dutch belong to, the Dutch, you know well, the Dutch. The Dutch belongs to Netherlands. They belongs to which one, in the sense, they belongs to Netherlands. The Dutch belongs to Netherlands. Netherlands capital was Amsterdam. Capital, the capital of these people, if you see, capital of these people, Amsterdam. So Amsterdam, that's the capital of this one. Amsterdam, there is a capital. Dutch East India Company, originally that was started in the year, so Dutch East India Company, we are calling Dutch East India Company. This Dutch East India Company, that was started in the year 1602 only. In which year it was started? In the year 1602, like that it was said. In which year it was started? In the year 1602 only this was started. Okay, Dutch East India Company we are calling. So, and this was started in the year 1602. But they came to Andhra in the year 1605. In which year they came to Andhra? They came to Andhra. So, the Dutch or they came to Andhra, right? They came to Andhra in 1605 only. In which year? In the year 1605 only they came to Andhra, that you have to remember. Who was the ruler during that time? That time ruler was Golconda Sultan Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah. He was the ruler who gave permission to this one. Who gave permission? So they came to Andhra in the year 1605 to Machilipatnam. They reached Machilipatnam. So they reached, okay, they reached which place in the sense? They reached this Machilipatnam. Okay, Machilipatnam we can say. They reached which one? They reached Machilipatnam, like that it was said. And who gave permission in the sense? Permission that was granted to these people, the Dutch by Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah. Who gave permission in the sense? This Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah gave permission to these people. So this who gave permission means Muhammad. His name? Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah. This Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah. This Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah, he only gave permission. Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah only gave permission to these people, like that it was said. He was the Golconda Sultan, you know well. So like that, first time what happened, they started coming to this one especially. Okay, so all these important things they happened in the period of this, especially in the period of this one. Have you got idea? So this Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah, with the permission of this one only, they started there at Machilipatnam. After that, in the year 1605 only they reached Machilipatnam, you know well. In which year? In the year 1605. In 1605. In 1605, they are at Machilipatnam they established. Which is the place in the sense? They are at Machilipatnam. They established there at Machilipatnam. After that, they moved to Pulicat region. Okay. They moved to which place in the sense? In 1605 only. So they established there at Machilipatnam. Have you got idea? They established in which year? In the year 1605 there at Machilipatnam. Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah only gave permission to these people, especially to the Dutch. The Dutch first center was Machilipatnam. The Dutch established their center. Established their center at Machilipatnam. Their center at Machilipatnam. Okay, that's the first center we can say. Have you got idea? So like this here, there's the first center which was established by the Dutch, like that. It was said, you know well. Okay, so you know well. So like that navigation that was started by Vasco da Gama, you know well, that's in the year 1498. He reached Kerala. After that only people, Europeans, they started coming to India, like that here. That all, especially that all started like that, it can say. So there is especially in the period of those people only. Then, which are the important centers of these people? Machilipatnam they established in the year 1605. After that, they established the center there at Pulicat. So there is Pulicat also. They established the first center of Machilipatnam in the year 1605 only. They established there at Machilipatnam. In which year they established in the sense? In 1605 they established there at Machilipatnam. So again in the year 1610. In 1610 they moved to Pulicat. They people moved to which center in the sense? They went to Pulicat and established their center. So there at Pulicat, like that it was said. Okay. So and after that what happened? Nagapatnam became their main center in India. Which became the main center of the people in the sense? Nagapatnam became their main center later. Nagapatnam. This Nagapatnam became their main center. Which became their main center in the sense? It became their main center in India. Their center. Main center in India. In India, this became their main center, that you have to remember. Pulicat. This Nagapatnam, that became their main center. So after this one especially, number of centers were established by them. So in especially Andhra region, like that it was said. Okay. So during this time, at what happened in the sense, they got their monopoly on diamond trade. Spices they were purchasing at the same time. So here in Andhra, they were selling their goods. That is one of the things which happened. So, but what happened in the sense, so there is especially, so there is diamond mines. They got so good command, especially monopoly we can say. They got monopoly over these diamond mines. That's one of the important things. And silk cloth at the same time. So there is okay, indigo. That is also one of the things which was so this one. So this cloth industry that was started. So they were selling all the clothes, etc. So like that. So here all these especially things went on well like that. It was said. So this porcelain goods, especially porcelain ware. Okay, porcelain we are calling. So that was imported. That was imported, and they used to have, so this one like that it was said. Silk also, they imported only silk and this one. So here you have to remember that, so especially these people, what happened? The Dutch traded with, the Dutch got monopoly, this monopoly, okay, there is monopoly on diamonds trade, on diamonds trade like that it was said, on diamonds trade. That is one of the things which happened in the period of this one, diamonds. At the same time they also continued indigo, they extracted. So at the same time they were extracting even spices like that. All these things especially that happened like that it was said. Okay, diamonds trade. So indigo, that was also indigo, okay, which is used in color industry, that also one of the important. Then silk cloth, okay, silk cloth, that was also imported and exported also, silk cloth that was also there. So like this here, so mainly concentrated on indigo, silk cloth, cotton cloth, etc. they are there, and even spices also, okay. So like that, so things went on well in the period of, so there is especially the Dutch know well, silk cloth, cotton cloth, okay, there is cotton cloth, etc. They were all exported by these people like that it was said. So diamonds trade monopoly that existed on diamonds trade, that is one of the important thing you have to. Other things which were extracted by them, indigo, silk cloth, cotton cloth, etc. they were all. So then they exported all these, okay. Coming to imports, if you see it, imports to India, if you see their imports to India, so their imports, okay. So their imports to, okay, imports to India, if we see what they imported in the sense, so here they imported silk and at the same time porcelain we can say. So porcelain, they imported silk and porcelain to India like that it was said, okay. So imports to India, so if you see, so this silk and porcelain they imported. So that's the thing what happened. But meanwhile here the things what happened in the sense, the British also entered, okay. So British also entered India like that we can say. What are the other centers in especially in Andhra which were established by the Dutch? So they moved to Visakhapatnam region, Bhimunipatnam they established, okay, Narsapuram, Gollapalem, Gandavaram. So other centers of the Dutch in Andhra, other centers of the Dutch in Andhra. Which are the other centers of the Dutch, other centers of the Dutch in Andhra, which are the other centers which came in Andhra? That's one of the important points. Other centers, which are the other centers in the sense they moved to Bhimunipatnam, so then Narsapuram, Palakollu, Bhimunipatnam. So here you see what are the other centers in the sense, they moved to Bhimunipatnam, then Narsapuram, there is also one, Palakollu, okay, Palakollu, Gandavaram, okay, number of places in Andhra. What happened? They moved here and there, and wherever population is there, they used to sell so there especially. Okay, so Gollapalem, Jagannayakapuram, Gollapalem, there is also one. Narsapuram, Gollapalem, Jagannayakapuram, etc. It's established. Jagannayakapuram, Jagannayakapuram, etc. Okay, Jagannayakapuram, etc. They established like that. It is. Have you got idea? So other centers in of the Dutch in Andhra. What are the other centers which are established by them? So what other centers? One is Bhimuripatnam, Narsapuram, Palakollu, Gandavaram, Jagannayakapuram, Gollapalem, like that. So they established all those like that, it was said. But here the British came to Andhra in the year 1611 with this competition that was started between the British versus the Dutch. So then at this moment the Dutch governor Wanspelt wanted to create fear in the minds of the British. That's why asked the Dutch to create some fear. There at Indonesian region, Ambon Islands, there at Ambon Islands, what happened? 10 British merchants were killed. Okay, so here what happened in the sense, it is said that competition that was started. The British entered in the year 1611. Competition started between, so there is competition started between, okay, competition started between whom in the sense? The British and the Dutch. Competition started between the British and the Dutch. At this moment what happened? The Dutch governor was Wanspelt, asked these people to create fear in the minds of these, especially the British. So the Dutch governor was Wanspelt. Dutch governor. Okay, who was this one? Dutch governor Wanspelt, we can say. So there is Wanspelt. He asked these people to create some fear. Dutch governor Wanspelt asked Dutch to create some fear in the minds of the British. So there at Indonesian region at Ambon Islands. Name of the place is Ambon. At Ambon Islands, 10 British merchants were killed in the hands of the Dutch. Okay, at Ambon Islands. At which place? At Ambon Islands, Indonesia. At Ambon Islands, Indonesia. This is Indonesia. Okay, at Ambon Islands, Indonesia, 10 British merchants were killed in the hands of the Dutch. 10 British merchants. Have you got idea? 10 British merchants were killed in the hands of the Dutch. Were killed by the Dutch. With that, rivalry that was started between the Dutch and the British. Have you got idea? So here the competition started between the British and the Dutch. The Dutch governor Wanspelt asked this Dutch, you have to create some fear in the minds of the British. Then only they are not going to follow us. They will not accompany us, like that he said. At this moment what happened? They decided to create fear in the minds of these people. At this moment what happened? So there is at Ambon Islands. Ambon Islands located there in Indonesia. At Ambon Islands, 10 British people, they were killed in the hands of, the Dutch. This created automatically what happened? Rivalry between the British versus the Dutch. It gave way for war also. So there is especially killing of British merchants. What happened? It gave way for what in the sense? It gave way for rivalry between the British and the Dutch. At last it gave way for war. Okay, between the British versus the Dutch. War that took place. Between the British versus the Dutch. Okay, between British versus the Dutch, war took place in 1759. In 1759, what happened? Battle of Bedara that took place. This is called Battle of Bedara. Battle of Bedara took place. Okay, Which battle took place in the sense? Battle of Bedra that took place between the British versus the Dutch in 1759. Battle of Bedra took place. In this, the British got victory. Who got victory? The British got victory and the Dutch were defeated. The British got victory. Who got victory here? The British got victory. Okay. Who got victory? The British got victory. That's the thing which happened. The British got victory in this. The Dutch were defeated. Who were defeated? The Dutch were defeated, like that it was said. The Dutch were defeated. The Dutch were defeated. Okay. The Dutch were defeated, and at last what happened? They vacated India and went to Indonesia. So the Dutch vacated India and went to Indonesia, like that it was said. Anyhow, in Andhra, which are the trading centers which were established by these people means, so Gandavaram, Gollapalam, okay, Narsapuram, Bhimanipatnam, so at the same time Pulikat, Machilipatnam, all these are the important centers which were established by these people, like that it was said. Have you got idea? The Dutch were defeated and left India and left India, like that it was said, and left India. Have you got idea? The Dutch were the first people who left India. The Dutch were the first people who left India. Who were the first people? The Dutch were the first people who left India. The Dutch were the first people to come to Andhra. First Europeans to come to Andhra. To come to Andhra, like that it was said. To come to which place? To come to Andhra. You got idea? They were the first people to come to Andhra. But who were the first people who left? So there is India, in the sense the Dutch. And they were the first Europeans who left India. And they were the first Europeans. The Dutch were the. Have you got idea? Dutch were the first Europeans. Dutch were the first Europeans who left India. Europeans. They are the first Europeans who left India. Have you got idea? So like that here. So this is the thing which happened with this. So in this advent of Europeans especially, you have to remember this one. Okay. In advent of Europeans, the first people to come to India, so they were the Dutch, Andhra. Okay, come to India, Portuguese, come to Andhra, the Dutch. That you have to remember. Have you got idea up to this? Okay, first people to come to Andhra, the Dutch. Second one, the British. And so next one we have to see this, especially French. And the last one, Portuguese. Okay. So any question may be asked in this. Related to the Dutch. At which place 10 British merchants were killed? Which of the following are correct, like that question may be asked. The Dutch governor once felt asked the Dutch to end or to create some fear in the minds of the British, like that. He was the governor who said. That is statement 1. Statement 2, at Ambon Islands 10 British merchants were killed. That is second one. The main center of the Dutch in India, that is Nagapatnam. In tsunami, that is completely destroyed, Bal. So like that, so options are given. Which of the following are correct, like that? If the question is asked, you have to answer. Okay. So I've got idea up to this. So next we can see the British. Okay.